Hello everyone. So in this video, I'll be explaining what are Omni DApps and how Dojima is trying to solve a solution regarding dApps through Builder Marketplace. So what are Omni DApps? Omni DApps are nothing but a seamless deployment of decentralized applications and smart contracts on wide range of blockchains, including EVM and non-EVM. So let's take, for example, in order to build a dApp, a developer needs to get all the prerequisites required for building a dApp, like learning what are smart contracts and how to create a smart contract on EVM chains. Or let's consider in Solana case, they need to learn Rust language to create the programs and deploy on top of Solana. So it's quite a hassle to go through all these languages and learning those languages and creating a setup and everything. So we come up with Omni DApps to deploy the contracts or programs on different blockchains through user interface. So we built a dashboard that is called Builder Marketplace, where user can deploy the contracts involving Omni-Chain functionality between EVM and non-EVM. So user can deploy the contracts onto respective chains and make use of them in the dApp, whichever they are trying to create. So let's get started with Omni DApps, how to deploy the contracts and make use of them. So in order to do that, first you need to go through the Builder Marketplace dashboard. If not logged in yet, you need to log in. If already logged in, you can just create a new project present over here, or you can make use of pre-existing templates provided by Dojima. So let's create a new project. Let's say, for example, the project name is Test Omni-Chain. And you need to select the type of project which you are trying to create. Here we are providing options for ERC20 token template, NFT token template, and that involves EVM chains. And also if you want to deal with Solana and EVM, so we are considering Solana Dojima template, token template, and data transfer template present over here. So let's take a look at ERC20 template. And you need to give a few words about the project description. So let's take testing Omni-Chain functionality of ERC20 token transfer between EVM chains. So once after providing the basic details, click on next. Here we are providing options for different EVM chains. Dojima is the core chain that connects to different EVM chains. And here are the options that EVM chains provided by Dojima. As of now, more chains will be added over here in the coming days. So let's take, for example, the token transfer is between Dojima and Avalanche. And we can also select more than one chain or present over here. Let's take, for example, Dojima and Avalanche. So once you click on create, the project will be created and you can deploy the contracts required for Omni-Chain functionality. So if you see here, once after creating the project, you'll be navigated to this dashboard, which is interactive one. And this overall diagram shows how the process works inside this Omni-Chain template. So these are the options that are used to create the contracts. And here, if you see the functionality, I'll walk you through these functions which are used in Omni-Chain transfer. So in Dojima chain, there are two contracts. One is X token contract and Omni-Chain contract. These contracts will be having certain functions that deals with communication between the chains that are connected throughout the dApp. So let's take, for example, a user wants to transfer the created token in between Dojima and Avalanche. So user first needs to burn the tokens. Let's take, for example, the forward flow. So user needs to burn the tokens on Dojima chain. So once the burning function is called, the data will be sent to outbound state sender, which calls the function on the destination chain, in our case Avalanche. The Avalanche chain contract will be called through outbound state sender, where the minting of tokens will be happening on the destination chain. So whenever there is a call to outbound state sender with the specific data of burning tokens and the destination chain is Avalanche, the outbound state sender will be calling that particular respective function on the destination chain contract. So once that minting of tokens happens on the destination chain, the user will be getting the respective tokens from Dojima chain. So this is how the forward flow works. Similarly, the reverse flow. So whenever user wants to transfer tokens from Avalanche chain to Dojima, user needs to burn tokens on the Avalanche chain, and the data will be sent to inbound state sender. The inbound state sender will be calling the functions relative to the token on the Dojima chain. So the on-state receive function will be getting the data, which will be doing the minting of tokens on Dojima chain. So the user will be getting those respective tokens on Dojima chain. So this is how the basic flow works through this template of EVM ERC20 token. So in order to do this functionality, first we need to deploy the contracts on respective chains. In Dojima chain, X token contract, Omni-Chain contract, and on Avalanche chain, the cross-chain token contract. So let's do that. So let's go to contract section over here, and here you can see these are the contracts that are required for Omni-Chain functionality. Here the user needs to provide basic details required for the contract. So whenever there is an update in the inputs, the contract will be updated accordingly. So let's take then token name as Omni token and the symbol as OMT. And if you see here, based on the inputs, the contract will be updated. And let's take the tokens pre-mint or around 10. And if you see here, whenever there is an update in the inputs, the respective code will be updated in the contract. Once after providing all the inputs, do save the details in order for the deployment to be working. So after saving the details, you need to do the same for all the contracts that were needed for the overall Omni-Chain functionality. So after saving everything, you can also go through the contract what present over here. As I was saying, like there are certain functions which does the Omni-Chain functionality in each contract. So if you see here, this is used for transferring from Dojima chain to the respective destination chain, and the amount of tokens, the destination contract address, these inputs will be used. So in the same way, if you go to the destination chain contract, here you can see the transfer to Dojima chain and executing the function that was received from Dojima chain. So after saving the details, the deploy option will be enabled. Until unless you provide all the inputs for each contract, it will be in disabled mode. Since we have provided all the details, let's do the deployment. Click on deploy. You need to have Dojima wallet extension in order to deploy these contracts. If you have added already, it will directly show you this. If not, you need to add the extension and do the process. So let's connect to the wallet. So once after providing the password, the token balance will be retrieved. Until unless you have a minimum token balance of 0.2 on each chain required for deployment, the deployment doesn't work. So you need to maintain balance on each and every chain that is required over here. So in our case, Dojima and Avalanche. So I have this much balance in each chain. So let's do the deployment. So the deployment works on each chain. So it might take rough time, like more than 2 minutes for deployment. So let's wait until the entire deployment works. So click on deploy. So here what happens is the token contracts which are present will be deployed on each respective chain, and there is a script that will be making connections between each and every contract. So after the deployment is done, the deployed details will be shown in the respective project section. So you can make use of them to create the DApp, which will be done from Dojima side itself. So the overall uh, usage of the deployed contracts on DApp will be shown in a different video. So as you can see right now, the contracts were deployed on each chain, and you can see the details of contracts over here. So since the deployment is done, you can see the details present over here. So let's cross verify whether the contracts were deployed or not. Right now we are using testnet for this deployment. As you can see here, the token was deployed on Avalanche chain, and this is the address that we made use for the deployment. And you can also go to Dojima Explorer to see the contracts on that respective chain. You can just copy one of the contracts and see present over here. So here you can see the contract was deployed on Dojima chain also. So it was done 2 minutes ago. And here also you can see this, both were deployed at same time. If you see here, 2 contracts were deployed. That is, one is X token to contract and the other one is Omni-Chain contract. So making use of these contracts, a DApp will be created where you can perform this functionality that was explained over here, making Omni-Chain functionality easy for the developers or users to make use of that connects different chains. In the same way, we have other templates where user can make use according to their requirements. So this is the ERC20 template which deals with all the EVM chains that deals with the ERC20 token, and this is similarly for all EVM chains with NFT token, NFT template. And we have these templates which deals with Dojima and Solana. This is a token template and the data transfer template. In order for these templates to be used, you just need to hover on the template and click on use template. You will be navigated to that respective project created. So here you can also filter the respective chains. So based on that, you can make use of templates, whatever you require. In project section, you can see all the list of projects you have created and the dApps which you have been using. So just now I have done this. So once you click on this project row, you can see the details of the deployed projects over here. And you can also delete this project if not required or not used for some time. It's up to the user. This is where the UI you can see for the DApp that was made used. So you need to select the respective project you want to make use. So this is the same thing which I have shown you, like templates that were provided by Dojima. In the coming days, we are also planning to provide a functionality where the user or developer created a project and wants to make it public so that others can make use and make the developers or users easy of doing the things in Omni-Chain with using Omni-Chain functionality. So this is a basic list of what Omni DApps does in builder marketplace provided by Dojima, making the users and developers to create their own dApps and providing an easy way just through clicks for deploying a dApp on respective chains whichever they want to use. This is it for today's video and a brief idea like how Omni DApps works in builder marketplace of Dojima. Thank you everyone.